It's been an odd week. On Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, Donald Trump was re-elected president of the United States in an unprecedented win, creating a firestorm of rage, disappointment, and even depression for some Americans. People have gone on unfollow rampages of those whose political views differ from theirs, have cut off long-term friendships, and some have even joked about having to pick cotton again. But the jokes are taking a more serious turn as high school students are now getting text messages about picking cotton. The text says something about being selected to pick cotton at the nearest plantation at a certain time and to be ready with your belongings, and it has struck fear in some students. Now, I don't know if it's just a joke or not, but I do know it's not funny. Enslaved people did not just pick cotton, which we'll cover in another video, but cotton became popular because it was a cash crop, meaning it was a crop grown to sell. By 1850, of the 3.2 million enslaved people in the country's 15 slave states, 1.8 million were producing cotton. By 1860, slave labor was producing over 2 billion pounds of cotton per year. Cotton planting took place in March and April when slaves planted seeds in rows around 3 to 5 feet apart. So we didn't just pick the cotton, but we cleared the land and planted the seeds. The next several months, from April to August, we carefully tended the plants. In August, after the cotton plants had flowered and the flowers had begun to give way to the cotton balls, the seed that contains the cotton fiber, all the plantation's slaves, men, women, and children, worked together to pick the crop. This is the part to which many are most familiar. On each day of cotton picking, slaves went to the fields with their sacks, which they would fill as many times as they could under the watch of the overseer. Now, cotton planters projected the amount of cotton they could harvest based on the number of slaves under their control. So they expected a good hand, for example, to work 10 acres of land and pick 200 pounds of cotton a day. To give you a perspective, an acre is equivalent to about a football field. So that's 10 football fields you had to clear and 200 pounds if you were considered a quote-unquote good hand. The overseer measured each individual slave's daily yield on a cotton scale, whipping slaves who didn't pick enough. Cotton picking occurred as many times a season as the plant grew and continued to produce balls throughout the fall and early winter. So you wasn't just picking cotton in the summertime. Sometimes even in the early winter, you was still picking cotton. For as long as that cotton grew, you was picking it. An enslaved person's day was not over after they picked the cotton. Before the invention of the cotton gin, they were the ones to remove the seeds from the cotton by hand. To give you a perspective of what this was like, the cotton gin allowed slaves to do this from 50 pounds of cotton a day. If you did it by hand, that was only 1 pound a day. After the seeds had been removed, the cotton was pressed into bales. These bales, weighing about 400 to 500 pounds, were wrapped in burlap cloth and then sent down the Mississippi River. So slaves did everything from clear the land for the cotton, plant the seeds, pick the cotton, separate the seed from the ball, wrap it up in the big old bales, have it weighed, and sent down the river. After the cotton part was over, the enslaved then had to care for the animals and perform other chores on the farm. Yes, children picked cotton too, and mothers strapped infants to their backs, a practice we did in Africa, or left them behind in a nearby field. 1 in 4 children did not survive their first year. Cotton picking also did not stop after slavery. Sharecropping, when formerly enslaved people known as tenant farmers would work a landowner's land in exchange for a share of the crops produced, also involved them picking cotton. Families rented small plots of land from a landowner in return for a portion of their crop to be given to the landowner at the end of each year. Many sharecroppers got up as early as 3 and 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning and didn't finish picking cotton until 5 and 6 in the evening.
So the people on the farm on the cotton field,
cotton field and come in town and pick you up and take you to 3 o'clock in the morning.
What? From what time?
Till
What time would they pick y'all up?
3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Oh, no. And then what time y'all be finished?
Oh, about 5.
Many sharecroppers also did not get to make a profit. It was essentially a repurposing of slavery.
Aileen, what time did you come out the field this morning?
6 o'clock.
What time would you get home?
About 3:30, 4 o'clock.
6 this morning to 4 o'clock this afternoon.
That's right.
How much did you earn?
$1.
$1?
That's right. $1.